answered here. Here we go. Good afternoon, Evolution family. Today is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. It's approximately 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm Jose Lambert of Archer Travel Service. Welcome to the Wednesday training. This was our original training that we had, and I tell you, the media center is coming along really, really well. So we are getting very excited. They put the cameras up today, so we're like, yeah, we're getting close. And that's going to be a lot of fun when we move in there. It's still in our new facility. We're getting to know it as it's getting to know us, finding out all the. You know what, Amanda? It's really hard where everybody is because it's kind of like, it's kind of weird. It's a building, so
it's a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. So you got to go up and turn left and turn, to find John Jackson's office and where's Reggie's office and things like that. But it's still a lot of fun. How are you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing great. I'm happy. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, it is hump day. Now, did you get some weather? By the way, I saw some snow going up your way. Did you get any of that?
Yeah, I have snow on the mountains above us.
Okay, well that's good. Well, there it is.
Yeah.
You guys, this one here is a good one. Getting through the airport. We haven't done this one in a couple of years, and this is some tips and some hacks that you should be sharing with your family members, friends, clients that are going to be doing this over the holiday weekend. Now, I have a report at the end of this presentation to talk to you about the AAA travel report, which was released on Monday, and I talked a little bit about it on the kickoff. You guys, this is going to be the highest amount of people traveling, I think, ever. There is some like 81 million people will be traveling in the next week. Now, not all of them are going to be flying. The majority of them are going to be driving. But these are some tips that you should know about to share with your potential clients and your family members, especially your family members. Because you see, the thing about it is, a lot of the people that you deal with, your potential clients and clients that you have and your neighbors and, your booking crew, they haven't flown in years. And they don't know what this experience is like. So we're going to show you about what this experience is. So you have this knowledge and you can share with your clients. Now, if you need a copy of this PowerPoint, all you need to do is email me at the end of the presentation and boom, you have it. Again, senior leadership, share this knowledge with your new agents. This is important information, and we want to make sure that all of our agents have this knowledge to share, with their, client base and stuff. So let's get through it. Here we go. Getting through the airport. All right. Getting through the airport. This is a two-parter. We do the international one. We're going to save that for like April or May when we're talking about going, because that's when Europe, the most travel to Europe from the United States happens in the spring and summer. So we're going to save this one for part 2 of how do you get there, right? Right, Amanda? When you arrive in Barajas Airport in Madrid, what do? Everything's kind of weird. You're like, you're tired, you're exhausted, right?
International airports are definitely different than domestic.
Oh yeah, they're different. I mean, and there's nothing really to worry about because there is a lot of signage in English that will help you. So don't worry about it, but there's certain, tips and hacks, just like there is tips and hacks about getting through this airport for 2023. Boy, I forgot to change that. It's supposed to be 2025. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the scenario, all right? The travel destination. Now look at this, okay? We have a family of 5. The kids are 5, 9, and 14. And look what they're doing. They're traveling the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and they're returning on Sunday, November 26th. They're going from SAC to MCO, which is Sacramento to Orlando. Okay, here it is, right here. They're going to Disney World or Universal, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that is the scenario. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, here's the outbound to Sacramento to Orlando. They leave Sacramento at 6 a.m., all right? And they're going to arrive in Orlando at 6:43 p.m. It's going to be 9 hours and 43 minutes with one stop. The stop is where? In Los Angeles. And they have a 1 hour, 38-minute layover, okay? Then they're going to hop on another flight. It's going to take them 4 hours and 58 minutes to get to Orlando, and they will arrive at 6:43 p.m. Okay? Now, it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. We got more rain coming. I can't believe it. Now, this is where you step up and show the service and value in your business and the value of what you can offer your clients. You talk to your clients with what if. Let's say that these folks haven't traveled in 5. Let's say that some of those kids have never been on an airplane. Okay? And a lot of that time, that's the truth. Okay? And they haven't traveled in 4 or 5 years, but they're going to take the kids to Disney or whatever, or they're going to visit a family in Orlando. What if scenarios? What if the plane gets canceled? What if you miss your layover? What if you miss your bags? What if? Go through, prepare them, say, sit down, let's relax, and let's just go through what if, just to make it safe for you and your kids. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. One of the ways you can do this is you sit down and you plan with your client to be prepared. Monitor the weather conditions for departure. It's been raining like crazy here in Los Angeles. We've had flooded streets. I've showed you this. Or I didn't show you this, but we talked about it on Monday. And everybody's really worried in the next couple of days what's going to happen in LA. Now, I've just been checking Spain. You guys know I love Spain. Spain has been getting a how do you say that? Flooding. Okay? They had to close down 3 parts. A what?
No. Sorry, I'm flooding. I was trying to think of the word with you.
No, it's deluged. Isn't that right?
What are you doing?
He's trying to say the word in Spanish.
No. I wasn't trying to say it in Spanish.
Oh.
No.
Well,
Anyway,
Never mind.
in Spain, major cities, Valencia, Barcelona, Sevilla, Malaga, the coastal cities, Andalusia, they've been having floods there. They had to, 2 of the runways in Barcelona were flooded. So, yeah, be on top of that. And this is easy, you guys. It's not like it was 30 years ago. You got weatherchannel.com. Weather.com, you can get that for the entire United States. Tell them, okay, you're going to Orlando. This is what to expect. If it's raining, it's hot, it's this, whatever. Work with your clients. Make plans and decisions about the departure. Okay, we're going to get to that here in a minute. What if, with the client, and make decisions for certain situations? You lose your luggage, you lost your cell phone, etc. You have a delay, you have a cancellation, etc. Make plans. Okay, monitor the airline carrier. I'm going to show you how to do that. Monitor the weather at the destination. I keep saying that. Work with your client, plans and decisions and their return. And again, what if? Okay, they will love you for that. That you care about them. You remember, we are EMTs, and I'm sorry. This is the busy time now. You're going to have a lot of clients, a lot of family members out there traveling. Stuff's going to happen. The weather is the weather. You're going to get that phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning going, you know what, they don't have my hotel reservation that you booked through Expedia Tap. How can you help me? You're going to have to be on top of it. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. This is number one. And I don't know, I just don't get it. I get a lot of clients, a lot of your customers calling me going, I can't get a hold of my agent. I've been trying. And it just, I can't, I understand. Now listen, I understand you got family, you got jobs, you got kids, you might get sick, there might be something that does that. Let your other team members on your team know about that. If you're on a team and something like I'm in the hospital or something, let your upline, your silvers, your golds, your platinum know I'm not available. So if Archer calls looking for me, or I've got agents, give them, here's the clients that I have going out, I'm in the hospital. Let them know, they'll cover for you. But you got to be available. A phone and message system that works. I don't know how many times I call you guys back. You call, I need help, blah, 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 I need help. I call you back, voicemail not set up. Or the one that irks me the most, Amanda, they got this new message going, the current, the person on the other line of the phone is currently not available. I'm like, what are you telling me that you're not available?
Yeah.
That's what it says. Have you heard those?
Yeah, I have. Or it's just like the mailbox is full, or it just goes beep, dead, and nothing, or
Yeah, or it just keeps ringing. Keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. I'm going, you guys, this is your business right here. This is right here is where all your money, all your commissions are going to go right through here. So why not make it work? I'm just saying, if not, you're not going to have a lot of clients. If not, you're going to have a lot of unhappy people calling us going, where's blah, 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 blah. I got a cruise next week and I don't have this, blah, 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 blah. And I've been calling and calling and calling. He doesn't call me. Or she doesn't call me. It's simple. All right, let's go to the next slide. Especially now when it's going to get crazy. Okay, booking air, some tips. Here's the thing, okay? Instead of flying out on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, fly out on Tuesday. Why? Not as congested. Fly, travel a day ahead. 2-day window. Okay, book nonstop round trip. Try to avoid layovers, especially on that Wednesday. Try to avoid layovers. You always want to book nonstop round trip, okay? Book flight departures early in the morning, as early as possible. Why do I say this? The air traffic in the United States starts as business starts in the United States. Where does business start in the United States? Each day. Where does it start? It starts on the East Coast because they get up earlier than we do on the West Coast. So that's the same thing with the airline business. Okay? The flights start from there. If you have flights on the West Coast that depart at 6 o'clock, 7, 8, you're in great shape. You should, now I cannot guarantee it, but the majority of the time you will not have cancellations or delays. But if you get into the middle of the afternoon and you're trying to get from Oakland to, let's say, New Orleans, and you have to stop in Denver, yeah, there might be with a layover in, the later in the day, that's when it starts stacking up, and that's when other planes can't get to the other planes. That's when you start having cancellations, delays. So you want to do that, okay? Yeah, fly, travel a day ahead, 2-day window, okay? Pre-travel checklist. Again, prepare all the documents. Now, again, you're going to have a lot of people going on cruises. Again, you're going to have a lot of people going to family all-inclusive resorts. Passports, driver's license, real ID. We talked about that in the beginning of the year. The real ID kicked in. So if you don't have that, it's going to be really hard. And that's going to be affected. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about that when we come back on Monday. Proper clothing. If you're in Minnesota and you're going to Punta Cana, I guess you change in the bathroom or in the restroom. You're like with the parkas and everything. We're going to Punta Cana, and you get down there and it's 90 degrees. So proper clothing, correct. All of this stuff, okay, this is readily available on the internet. But sit down with your client and talk to them about this. Right now, lately, okay, TSA's been changing the rules every time I look up, when I check the travel media magazines and things, the TSA's changing again, and now these items are okay, or now these items are not okay, and it's like, oh, man, you're confusing me. But get all this information to them that they know it. Correct baggage information, pre-boarding seating assignments. That's a big one. Contact the banks and credit cards. Tell your clients to contact them. There's nothing worse if they get down to Punta Cana and they go, oh yeah, I'll put it on my credit card, and boop, oh, not working. Because yeah, the bank doesn't know you're down there. They think it's fraud. Contact the cell phone provider big time, especially if you're cruising. Especially if you're cruising. And you know how the kids like to go, Daddy, let me use your phone so I can play my games, blah, 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 blah. And then the charges add up, the roaming charges. And then you're like, what? $700? No. And also factor in time to get to your travel destination. That is important. I'm just saying, okay? Let's go to the next slide. And this is what I'm talking about. Monitor airline schedules. And this is pretty easy to do. Here's just an example. But, you can track this online. You can track this on the app. But it's easily, readily available. But, and you should show them this. Because, listen, you're a travel advisor. You're a travel agent with Arctic Travel, Evolution Travel. Okay, not only do you have the Millers going up, but you have the Johnsons. You have the Kennedys down the street, the Millers, the blah, blah, blah. You have a lot of people going. So you got to share this knowledge with them and say this, check your flights. Well, how do I do that? Okay, download the app. And a lot of people know how to use the phone, but if they don't know what an app is, and you might be dealing with, Uncle Jerry and Aunt Mary who, well, we never fly. The last time we flew was back in 2000. Well, it's changed. What's an app? There are people that are like that say that because they don't do that. They don't do the phone thing anymore. They don't know how to do the phone thing. That's what I meant. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, best tools for travel agents and clients, the travel apps and the airline apps. These are important. Just like, when you're going to go on a cruise, you want to make sure that you get the cruise app because that's going to be your major tool when you're on the cruise. You can do everything off their apps. You can make restaurant reservations. You can see what activities and events are happening during the day, what excursions are available. The same thing with if you're flying out on United, get the United Airlines app. That way you can check your flight and your flight schedule. That's how you tell Mr. Johnson. That's what you need to do is download the United Airlines app or the Delta Airlines app or the American Airlines app, and you can see when your flight is, if it's delayed, if it's da-da-da-da-da. Okay? Next slide. Okay. I hate to say this, but especially during this time of year, 3 to 4 hours for domestic. You have to get to the airport that early. And, and sometimes more. It depends on what airline or an airport that you're going out of. 4 hours usually for international. Then you have to check in. You have to go through TCA screening, face recognition, and fever recognition. That's no longer you need to do that. But there is a lot of, I remember somebody, it was Tara telling us that the lines when the government was shut down, that Houston was having just incredible lines because they only had one TSA, entrance into the terminal. They usually have 4 or 5. They only had one. That people outside the terminal, outside the airport, trying to get through TSA. So that's what I'm saying. Get there early. Get there early. And I know it's a drag, but that's what they need you to do now. Okay, that's what they want you to do now. TSA screening and pre-check. You have the standard screening, which is free. Now, this is a great service, TSA pre-screening, but be careful here. Some people think if I have TSA pre-screening, I'm just going to rush right through it. Well, a lot of people now have this. And now this is as crowded as this line used to be. So, when you're there, check out which, because listen, if you have TSA pre-screening, you still do this. Okay? But, find out, logistically, how can I get through this process that much quicker? If the TSA pre-screening is really jammed up, I'll go through standard screening. If standard screening is really jammed up, I'll go through TSA. So know about that. Okay? All right, let's go to the next slide. We're going to have more rain, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, let me ask you, how was the webinar training with Lance today?
It was really good.
Yeah? What did he go over?
He went over all of the Sandals and Beaches products and just really dove really deeply into all of it. So a lot of information.
Good deal. Good deal. You guys, we're so excited to be working with him, and we're going to be talking to him on Friday with the wrap-up. So that's going to be kind of cool. Airport safety guidelines. According to the TSA, solid food, not liquids or gels. Check airline allows eating, but no water. You can't bring water bottles anymore. Okay, this changes all the time. Make sure to check. Make sure to check. Have someone, one of the parents, please check your TSA before you go through it, so you can get through it, smoothly and properly. There's nothing where it's like, okay, everybody, we gotta throw our water bottles away. They'll take that stuff right away from you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I don't know why. I guess they think what, with gasoline or vodka? I don't know. For kids, bring games, snacks, drinks, things to keep them busy because you're gonna have a long wait at the airport. You just will. And they have other things to do there, but it is a drag. You're going to have at least 2 hours plus to wait at the airport to get on your flight. I know. That's the way things are now. Let's go to the next slide. And it's funny because when I always see the kids do, there's some, when you see the kids, they're looking out the window, they're doing, exploring everything, they're just really getting into it. Airline seating. This, if you're not used to it, be prepared for more crampedness. I don't like flying anymore. I just don't. Not to say that I'm a big person. I'm just 6 foot, but I just feel like I'm like in this when I'm for 3 hours or 5 hours when I'm flying on the plane, because the plane, the seats are pretty cramped. But let them know. Let them know. Now, of course, you can get, business economy or, business or what do they call that? Economy. Upgrade, it's not all the way in the back there, but it's better. But yeah. So make sure that you get that, and make sure that you get the airline seating all together. There's nothing worse than having families spread out. Oh, that's really bad. So you want to make sure that the family stays all together. Okay, next slide. That's why I never fly on this weekend. I just never do. I never do. I've driven on holidays, but I usually don't. I mean, I'm just going up to Bakersfield for my Thanksgiving, and then, I mean, that's 90 minutes, so that's nothing. But air travel, wipe everything down. So if you got moms and, you know, and they're worried about kids, it's really simple. Just sanitize everything and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, okay? I mean, they do that for you already, but if you're still kind of like, oh, wait, you know. Oh, also another thing, okay, something to keep aware of. If your clients are having the flu or the cold or something like that, be prepared that the airline probably won't allow them to get on the plane. It really depends on the severity of the cold or the flu, but that can be a hampering aspect to your client getting to fly. And that could help, that could maybe even be harmful to them and their own health. So be aware of that. You know, if you know people that are going out next week and you're starting to see, well, oh my God, the Millers are sick. Well, you better get ready and, you know, to drink a lot of NyQuil and go to the doctor because we want you to be healthy when you fly. Okay? They don't want you sniffling and coughing and hacking and, you know, and temperatures and all that. They don't want that. They don't want you on the plane with that. Okay? All right, let's go to the next slide. I remember I was working at this one agency and they had a big group going out to Jerusalem. It was a Holy Land thing. And the guy who was taking them had like a major cold. And he was like leaving in 48 hours. And I said, listen, you know, you better get to the doctor now because they're not going to allow you on the plane the way you are. They're just not going to allow you on there because they're worried about their other passengers, but they're worried about you because it really affects you. Okay, arriving at destination airport. This is important because they've never been to Orlando. They've never been to Miami. They've never been to Los Angeles or New York. You know, explain to them what's going to happen. And also with this crowd that we're having during Thanksgiving, like when they finally hit Orlando at 6:30 on the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, there'll be a lot of traffic out of that airport. It's going to be crowded. It may take them to, you know, a while to get out of there, to pick up their car, if they're car rental, or to get to their transportation to their where they're going to be staying. So just be aware, okay? Let them know. It's going to take you a little while when you arrive there because you're arriving right at the end of rush hour in Orlando. And Orlando, as you guys know, you've been to Orlando, it's huge. You know, tell them about if you're coming in from the West Coast, you're going to have to take a subway train from your arrival terminal to the, you know, main terminal to pick up your luggage. And that's another 20-minute subway ride, right? You guys know that. So you tell them about all this stuff. They need to know about it, okay? All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, stay calm and enjoy. You know, it's like you've made it. You've made it to Orlando. Now it's just to get there. Now we're going to start having some fun. Now we're going to Universal, or we're going to Disney, or we're going to SeaWorld, or we're going, you know, out to Cape Canaveral on the Mardi Gras, on the Carnival Mardi Gras, or on the, you know, the Wonder of the Seas, the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas, etc. But just tell them to stay calm. All right, let's go to the next stop. Okay, inbound, going back. Okay, so let's talk about when they go back. Inbound, back Orlando to Sacramento. They're going to leave at 8 a.m. on American Airlines on Sunday, November 26th. Okay, so they have to arrive early, so they should be there around 5 a.m. or so to make sure that they get on there. It's 8 hours and 22 minutes. They have one stop. Okay, they'll be arriving in Sacramento at 1:22 p.m. Okay, where is the stop? In Dallas-Fort Worth. They have a 3-hour and 5-minute flight layover. No, I'm sorry, a 1 hour, 31-minute layover. Not bad, not bad. That gives them plenty of time to make their flight, and then they'll get to Sacramento at 1:22 p.m. But wait a minute, something happens. What happens, do you think, Amanda? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dramatic pause here.
A layover.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go to the next slide. Something happens on this inbound flight. Let's go to the next slide. Uh-oh, the flight is canceled.
Oh no.
The layover flight from Dallas to Sacramento is canceled. What do they do? What do I do? What do I do? Okay? Calm. Stay calm. Go to the next slide. And the first thing they're going to do when this hits, when they see it, is they're going to call you. Calm down. Calm down. Just calm. Got to be zen. You know, you got to be zen. Okay. Keep calm and call your travel agent. Here's what you need to tell them. Have the client go up to the counter desk at the gate. Why was the flight canceled? When is the next flight to my destination? Can I get on it? Is there another airline you can book for me? Or call another airline for me? Or can I call another airline? Can I get to my destination via a neighboring airport? Okay? So these 4 things can really go a long way. Now, again, you got to tell the client, you attract more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. So if you're calm and you're asking these questions and they're nice and, yeah, it's just me and my kids, when they see a family, they know that's a priority over that single traveler or that single traveler because we need to get this family home. So, and they know this because they have the children. But, always keep this in the mind, on your head. Okay, there was one thing I wanted to go to and I forgot to tell you, Amanda, but let's go to the next slide. You guys know I'm a big proponent of this, and this is still going on. It's the U.S. Department of Transportation Airline Cancellation and Delay Dashboard. You should have this link readily available to give to your client in case something like this happens. This will explain to you exactly it will explain to the client exactly what type of benefits and what type of things that they will accessible to. In other words, do they get a food voucher for their delay? Do they get a hotel room? Do they, etc. Now, the better carrier, like the Deltas, Uniteds, Americans, they have better stuff. Like, for example, you see all the green check marks? Okay, like see this one, I don't know what airline that is, but that'll be like, no, they don't do any of that stuff. So, have that readily available. It lists all the U.S. carriers here and what they do. See, they're the U.S. carriers, right? And it'll tell them exactly what they do and what they not do, what benefits and what procedures that your client can take to help them get home, and that'll be a great thing. Okay, next slide. Thank you, Amanda. Be courteous to the airlines. Listen, this is their most busiest time. This is the most busiest time of the travel year, is this next week coming up. Yeah, Christmas is busy, New Year's, 4th of July, but not like this week. And it's really huge. I'm going to give you some information about that here in a minute. But be courteous to them. There's nothing worse than, and you guys have seen this at the airlines, and if you get really rowdy and get really abusive with these people, they will arrest you. They don't put up with that stuff. I've seen it. I saw it in Philly when I went to Spain and I had a layover in Philly, and they had this lady. She was really upset because her flight was canceled, and they had her in the little truck. Those little Cushman carts that they have all. That they drive around and stuff. Yeah, they had her in there, and she was screaming. So, be courteous. Okay, I mean, and that's why you want to keep calm. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay. How to make air travel less of a nightmare. Let's just review. Get to the airport early. Fly first thing in the morning. Avoid flying with discount airlines. That's a big one. Apply for TSA pre-check, global entry, or both. Download your airline's mobile app. Get airport lounge access. Now that's sweet. If you can get that, that's pretty cool. Travel with carry-on only. That's the best way to get in and out of the airline. In and out of the airport is when you have your carry-on. That way you get off the plane, you're out. You don't have to wait for your luggage. Purchase travel insurance just in case for delays, cancellations, or loss of luggage. Okay, go to the next slide. Let's talk about this. On Monday, breaking in the AAA newsroom, the Thanksgiving travel forecast. Nearly 82 million people. I cannot believe 82 million Americans projected to travel over Thanksgiving. Here is what the report had to say. AAA projects 81.8 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home over the Thanksgiving holiday for Tuesday, November 25th to Monday, December 1st. This year's domestic travel forecast includes an additional 1.6 million travelers compared to last Thanksgiving, setting a new overall record. Thanksgiving is the busiest holiday for the travel compared to others like Memorial Day, 4th of July, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here it breaks down like this. AAA predicts that at least 73 million people will travel by car. That's nearly 90% of Thanksgiving travelers. An additional 1.3 million on the road compared to last Thanksgiving. The number could end up being higher if some travelers decide to drive instead of flying from recent flight cancellations. Let's talk about the cruises. This year alone, AAA is projecting 20.7 million American cruise passengers. like, Amanda, that's almost 21 million people will be cruising from starting Monday through December 1st. That's crazy.
That's wild.
The number is even higher for 2026. You guys have oversold 2026 when they're forecasting an additional 1 million. So next Thanksgiving, they're forecasting 21.7 million people will be taking cruises for Thanksgiving week. That's crazy. U.S. travelers taking ocean cruises. Caribbean cruises are very appealing during Thanksgiving, especially the Caribbean, because the weather is mild, the trip is paid in advance, and families can bring grandparents and kids, and everyone is entertained, right? On your Carnival cruise, on your Royal Caribbean cruise, on your MSC cruise, on your NCL cruise, on your Princess cruise. The list goes on and on and on. Let's go to the next slide. Here's the breakdown. Here it is. See? So as you can see, these are just the numbers here. Wow, man, almost an increase of 2 million right there. Isn't that crazy? That's wild. And then the other ones, so I just can't believe 20 million people on cruises this next week. That's going to be crazy. Let's go to the next slide. We will post this in the Travel Cafe. We usually post it like on Thanksgiving week, so we'll post it again next week. Here's your drive times, and this is for the domestic United States. These are the times that you should be hitting on the road. Now, listen, we've been talking a lot about road trips and staycations and things like this, so you want to be driving at the best times. You don't want to be driving at the worst times, especially if you're going into big metropolitan areas and even the smaller midtown cities, Indianapolis, St. Louis, what's another one? Austin, El Paso. I mean, they have traffic, so be aware of that if you're going there to those places and you have a long road trip. But you should give this information and share this with your family members, friends, potential clients. It's always useful. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Oh, we're gonna have fun now. Okay, wait. We're gonna do an engagement. Look at this, Amanda. See, I asked.
Looks just like you.
God,
Oh wow! What is it?
I don't know
What is
what.
that?
See, I don't. Wait a minute. I mean, listen. I don't. They just create this. I mean, I asked for it's like be something like a. All right, so look, we're gonna do an engagement here. I have three of these. Okay, and you get to pick. Okay, I don't know how we're gonna do this, Amanda. Well, I guess the way we can do it is I'll show you one. If you like it, you say. I guess you put in a Y. Okay, for yes or no. Okay, all right. So vote on this one, okay? Because this is the one we're gonna post in Travel Cafe, and we're gonna be using this all next week. But this is where the deals are. Next week, the Thanksgiving edition. Next Wednesday at this time, at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and I've got a ton of deals for you. We got Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. The cruise lines are giving it away. I'm telling you, man, the cruise lines are giving it away. I mean, I saw something like $900. I mean, I was like, what? $900. So I'm telling you, it made me do this. So I'm telling you, all right, so here, let's vote on this. Do you like this one? Here you go. Put in Y if you like it. Okay, Amanda, let's go to the next one. And there's that one. Look at that one.
Oh, I've seen them all already.
Oh, you have? Okay, yeah, see? And then there is the last one. Let's go to the last one. I mean, you got to wear flip-flops at Thanksgiving. So there you go.
Especially if you're a pirate named Jose.
No, I'm supposed to be a pilgrim here. We're doing pilgrim thing here.
It looks
See,
like a pirate.
no, he's John Smith heading off to my pilgrim Thanksgiving dinner here down in the Bahamas. Right? That's
Yeah,
right.
they were
So,
pirates.
all right, so we will let you know who the winner is. Who do we have, Amanda? Which one did they like the best? The first, second, or third?
They think it's AI, but it wasn't AI. It was our graphic designer.
Right, it's our
And everyone's saying the third one.
The third one? I know it was the flip. I wanted to put sunglasses on him, but then I said you
No.
probably wouldn't be able to see who he was. So
I vetoed that.
yeah, oh, she did sing. Who is that? Do you hear voices? I'm hearing voices in the room. All right, all right. So it'll be this one, you guys, that we'll be putting out there. Again, don't forget where the deals are. Again, everything's going to be on this Facebook page. If you miss this, that's okay, but check it out over the weekend. Because we know that on Wednesday you're going to be busy either shopping or this or that or the family's coming in and blah, 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 blah. Everybody's excited. Everybody. make sure you check on this. It's going to be Wednesday, the 26th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. You're not going to want to miss it. Where the deals are, Thanksgiving edition, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where the deals are. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. Again, if you want a copy of this PowerPoint, all you need to do is email me right there, joseL@archertravel.com, joseL@archertravel.com, and I will send this to you, and you can have it and share this information, again, with your family members, your friends, potential clients. Show them the best times to drive. Show them about what they're going to go through if they're going to Orlando or New York or Dallas or Atlanta or etc. If they're going to Punta Cana, if they're going on a cruise. Prepare them. That will bring value into your business, and that value will make you shine. I promise you it will. All right? All right, everybody. Amanda, do you have any questions, comments?
No, I think that's it, Jose.
All right, everybody. I will see you on Friday. For the wrap-up, I'm Jose Lambert of Archer Travel Service. See ya.